My first art commission was pretty alright. It was alright. I made a video before kinda talking about a commission I did, but that wasn't really a commission. I was kinda just drawing or being forced to draw. And it also is probably top 5 worst internet moments of all time. It was just a weird situation, so I don't count that. Plus, I didn't get paid for it. So, but after that situation, I was already thrown off from the idea of doing commission work, but I decided to give it another shot, and yeah, it wasn't that bad. Hirogetsu is who I did commission work for. I'm going to paraphrase a bit, but he's pretty much an aspiring game developer and enjoyed my style and wanted me to do some art for the game. So I would end up doing some designs, small like faces, but I mainly worked on the main character, which had multiple transformations, and I had to draw him in different phases of his life from young to adult. Getting into the actual designs, I'm gonna give you his words to describe each one. So kid, teen, adult. The first one was the most difficult one. I had never made a design for somebody else before, so there was a lot of input, output, feedback going in, and multiple constant changes happening, like from the hair to how the outfit was going to be. And pretty much as I was going, I was learning how to work with somebody else. But besides that, for the drawing, the actual hardest part for it was the transformation and getting it exactly how it was intended to be. But after some constant photos, feedback, like I said, back and forth, we eventually got there. And the clothing for this one was more tech-like pre-transformation, and after the transformation, it was more like a rough, rustic type of caged beast type vibe, which made it my favorite design after completing the entire thing, just because of the contrast between the two. And after getting better at working with somebody, it was a lot easier. Hey, there's no way without you. For the second design, there's not really much I have to say about it because it was just the younger version of him, so it was a straight shot. By the time I got to working on this one, I have got used to working with him and getting the feedback, learning how to adapt it to where it wouldn't take too many changes. And I was like, each time I was changing it or adding something new, it was somewhat closer. At least I felt I was getting closer to what was in his mind. It was a lot less back and forth, but you know, it still happened to get it the way it was. But yeah, the younger version wasn't really that much going into it. We didn't really work on these in order, so I did the one before this first, then I did the transformation, then I did some faces that I'll show later, and then I started working on the young and then the adult. And the clothing for this one also stuck out to me because he mainly wanted an African / Egyptian type scheme, not only with this one but throughout the entirety, but this one really had a grounded feel to it. This one was just the more calm one of between drawing them. Lastly, the adult one was probably the smoothest one because now I was completely used to not only working with somebody else but working with Hirogetsu himself. So it was pretty much a smooth sailing, like, okay, add this, okay, take away this, okay, add this, you know what I mean? And I didn't have any distractions this time. Like, I wasn't worried about any exams because it was a break. So I had the time for the night to just add everything I needed to add for this one sitting. It was by far probably the quickest one I think I've done. But this was the last one, and it was also on the last night. I did this one and the transformation, and the transformation was pretty straightforward. It was kind of like the first one, but more matured. He wanted it to look like he understands his powers. He's a more well-rounded character at this point, obviously because he's an adult, and I think it definitely comes across that way from giving the first one to this one. It was just a completely nice full circle closing on how the character looked. And not only was I proud of the work I put in, but I really messed with how well the story correlated with how the character looked. For the other designs though, like the faces, I won't be talking about them because it was pretty much a straight shot of just back to back to back to back to back drawing faces, and some were colored, but I will be showing them throughout the video because the next segment is more me talking about the experience, not from an actual drawing standpoint. Anyways, that was pretty much it over that period of time. That was pretty much all the work I had done. It took a lot of time though. Tips for making your commission smoother from my own experience: get as much references as you need from the person, as much details that's in their mind that they want to add to the smallest things like a bracelet, a tattoo, eye color, just anything that helps you out. as the artist definitely helps them out because it makes you be able to put what's on their mind onto the page. And when you're trying to draw something, just keep getting feedback on how the customer likes how it's coming along, just so they're satisfied with what you're doing. I'm just saying, get as much as you can so your job to actually draw it is smooth sailing. I did not know that when I first started, so it was a lot of back and forth, but I got better because it was a long period. You get it. But during that time, I really had to learn that me being an artist, I'm the thing that's gonna make this person's vision come to life, kind of. So I had to get as accurate as possible to whatever's in their noodle, to the littlest details, which got easier along the way. And my commission time was more like a contract because it was a long time. Like, I got this commission back in, I forgot when. It could have been like May or a little bit later than May, maybe. And then I ended it on November 15th. I'll get into why that happened, but that did happen. It was just a lot more time, but I kind of like cut it short to where I did, you know, the faces, all the phases of the main character, and I felt like that would be enough for my contribution to at least meet some satisfaction. If you're interested in the game and or seeing the designs that I did get turned into 3D, you should check out his channel. He posts updates on him working on the game and him creating the models. So if you want to see the work behind that, then you should definitely check him out. Just a little calm shout out. Anyways, to round up the video, just a shout out to Hirogetsu. I appreciate you for being such a cool person and gave me an actual good experience working with someone doing commission work. Overall, a good time, and I recommend you check out his channel. I did an interview with him, so if you want to get to know a little bit more about me, you can go watch that. It's about, I think, an hour long. I don't know, it was pretty fun. I was chilling, so that was my first commission, and that's it.